2 weeks ago, the Gem City Market stopped accepting WIC vouchers. WIC is a federal program that helps women, infants, and children. When we first reported on this interruption, the reason was unclear. Newsletter 7's Haley Kosick got the answer from the grocer today.
17 months ago, the Gem City Market opened its doors to help fight a food desert.
Our mission is to provide access to fresh fruits and vegetables in an area that's been, intentionally underdeveloped, right? We had 40,000 residents and no full-service grocery store.
The Gem City Market's goal is to help the underserved community by offering SNAP and WIC benefits. Until this past May,
we started to have some pretty serious administrative problems, both problems at the register with technology, but also problems with our selection and getting enough of the right assortment for WIC from our wholesaler.
These issues persisted for the next few months.
They came to us and talked about some problems with WIC. We brought some folks together and found out a lot of folks are being challenged with it.
There was a period of time where we were giving milk away for free because we didn't want to say no to folks in need, but we could not get our register to recognize the SKUs.
After trying to resolve the issues while losing money, the store decided to temporarily pause WIC benefits.
They can't stay in business like that. Every grocery store functions on a really minimal profit margin, and a new one like Gem City Market has really thin margins.
The Gem City Market plans to bring back the program, and on Thursday will meet with WIC state representatives.
We will have to work on both internal and external issues. So issues with our supply chain we'll have to solve internally. Issues with our register we'll work with the state to solve. We will start taking WIC again as soon as we can properly administer it,
so they can keep their doors open.
We want to keep doing it. Gem City wants to, the community wants to, public health wants to support it. But we've got to make sure that they get the reimbursements.
Reporting in Dayton, Haley Kosick, News.